want to share with you one very important concept in cost estimation methods, and that is ILO method. And straight away, we go to cost estimation using ILO method. Cost estimation using ILO method. Cost estimation using ILO method. We will have this example one, and because we are using Excel, I want to format this one, and then I will bring in one question here. The question reads, the national power and generating company has incurred the following monthly costs to transfer new plant from central business district to geothermal station. So let me move this one to the geothermal station, and I'll make this one 12. Yeah, at least we can see. Now, the costs include monthly costs. Let me format this one also. We need some space. This is month and transferred units, and then cost of the transfer. So in January, the national power and generating company transferred 6,000 units, and incurred a cost of $66,000 US. In month of February, the company transferred 5,000 units of spare parts, to which incurred them 65,000 units US. In March, in the month of March, the director saw it is possible to transfer 7,000 units in that month, and they incurred a cost of $70,000. In month of April, the company transferred 9,000 units and incurred a cost of transfer $80,000 US. In the month of May, the company transferred 8,000 units and incurred a cost of $76,000 US. In the month of June, the company transferred 10,000 units and incurred a cost of $85,000. In the month of July, the company transferred 12,000 units and incurred a cost of $100,000 US. That is what they paid. Then in the month of August, the company transferred 11,000 US, but this time incurred a cost of $87,000 US. All right. Question 1. Determine variable cost per unit of the transfers, and also determine the fixed cost per unit, and also determine the total cost function. Question Roman 2, they are asking, the examiner want to know the cost formula for the transfer costs. All right. So, and because we are also learning Excel, I'll make this one 10. I'll make this one a little bit squeezed, make it 18, and I will freeze. I'll freeze on top. I'll freeze on top this part. So go to view, freeze panes, freeze. So we have freezed. We don't want the others to move. So now let us solve this question. So now there is something that you have to know with high-low method. In high-low method, you find that for high-low method, it is said that in this method of cost estimation, a student need to check and to select the highest activity level, and the lowest activity level. You know, these are the activities. This is the activity and this is the cost. You need to differentiate the two. So where there is the highest activity level, you select the highest, it becomes your highest amount. And also the cost, you can see the cost will be also more. And then also you select the lowest activity, level. For this case, in this question, the highest activity level and the lowest activity level are in the same month, in the month of July and February, respectively, whereby 12,000 highest units of new plant materials were transferred, and in February, 5,000 units of the plant were transferred to geothermal station. So we go straight ahead and we select first the highest and the lowest activity level. So this is the highest activity level. Let's put it here, and then we can say transferred units. So units transferred, units transferred, and also transferred costs. Or you can also copy this one and you can paste it there. Then you format it to fit our expectations. So let's move this one. So the highest activity level will be 12,000 units, and the lowest activity level and its cost, and the cost is 100,000 US dollars. Then the lowest activity level is having 5,000. It's on February, and its cost is this 65,000 units. So then get the change, or calculate. You can calculate the difference, or stop the change. What was the change between the highest level and the lowest level, plus all is equals sum of this, comma, minus this. You get 7,000, and this one you just copy direct and put dollar sign. So this was the changes. This was the difference. So you go to format as table, or you go to Yeah, you can put it as table or the cell style. You want total. These are your totals. All right. Then from there, now we start solving the questions. Determine the variable cost per unit. The variable cost per unit. You know, this is the rate we say variable cost per unit. Me put it here. We say this is this variable cost per unit, VC per unit. Unit is the rate of change, is the rate of change in cost per unit transferred. Yeah, it's the rate of change in cost per unit transferred. So how do we get this rate of change per unit transferred? We have one formula here. Variable cost is equals change in cost over change in activity. We have already calculated them here. So because now we are using Excel, we can calculate it very well here. We say is equals, and then I put it to the other side so that you can see it's equals. So it's equals change in cost $35,000 divided by the number of units. So now we say the answer is here is for every 1 unit transferred $5 where $5 cost was incurred, full stop. That is variable cost per unit. That is the variable cost per unit. We can also calculate total variable costs for the activity is equals, you know, it will be equal to 100. No, it's equals total variable cost for the activity. You will get the number of units transferred is equals number of units transferred times variable cost per unit, which is equals 12,000 units multiplied by $5. This one will give us is equals 12,000 units. 12 times 5. So 60,000 was total variable cost for the activity. Number 2, Roman 1, number 2 is find the fixed cost per unit. What was the fixed cost per unit? Now we say from this point, we know that total cost TC is a sum means a sum of variable costs. Variable, let me write it. Variable costs, VC, and fixed costs, FC. So which is equals total costs is equals fixed costs plus variable costs, right? Put it bold. So using this formula, we know therefore fixed cost is equals total costs minus variable costs. All right. Therefore, now we get fixed costs. We will know that so fixed costs is equals total cost, which is 100,000 minus variable costs into brackets 60,000, which is equals let me move it this side, which is equals or center is equals 100,000 minus variable cost 60, which is 40,000, and this is your answer. Now you need cell style this, and then this one also make it total. All right, that's how we get it. That's how we get it. So the other question is formulate. We are taught to formulate the cost function. We know linear cost function will take a form of linear equation function. Let me put E function, linear E function. This one will be capital. Here will be function. So which is equals, which will be like y is equals mx plus c. So in this case, we'll have this that is why whereby let me explain. Let us explain this one whereby y is total costs, then m is variable costs, cost per unit. X is number of units. Let's say units. And C is fixed cost. C is fixed cost. All right. So in this one, what will be the function? The function will be very easy to form. We will form it here in the Excel. is equals y dollar sign close dollar sign close and this is now fixed costs or variable costs. Variable cost is 5 and in brackets plus fixed costs. That's it. You have it. This is now your question. That's the demand of this question. You are to form this equation. So like that, you have already answered all the question as required, and you are there to go. So I want to put this one like that. So this is ILO method. Cost estimation. So from this one, we can also make go to another question as example 2. Example 2, where you are told that a hospital, we can say a hospital, we would use the same template. A hospital record shows that the cost of carrying health checks in the last 5 accounting periods have been as follows. So let me remove this one. I'll just remove this one. I'll also remove this one, and I will also remove this one. Then we will use this one, and we'll say last five periods: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For period 1, we are given 650. Let's just say 650. The other one is 940. Period 2. Let me first remove this one so that it will not start calculating. Then period 3 is 1260. Let's say 1260. Period 4, 990 units. Then period 5, 1150 units. So what was the cost? The cost of carrying out health checks, in period 1, the hospital used 17,125. In period 2, they used by conducting 940 health checks, the hospital spent 17,800. In period 3, the hospital spent 18,650. In period 4, 17,980, 980, and period 5 by conducting 1,150 health checks. The hospital spent 18,360. So we know very well that we have to, the procedure is you have to select. In this example, you have to select very well for high-low method cost estimation. A student or anyone or accountant need to check and select the highest activity level and the lowest activity level. In this case, you also find that the highest activity level and the lowest activity level are in the month of July. So you find that in the month of, let's change this one, in the month of March, and the lowest is in the month of January, respectively, where 1,260 units health checks, units of health checks were done, and cost incurred, cost of each activity is there. It's given for you to know. Then from there, units of carrying out health checks, and in February, it's when they recorded 650 lowest units of carrying the health checks. So just the way we did the other one, we need first to get the highest activity level and the lowest activity level, because the topic is high-low method, highest and the lowest technique. This is what we are emphasizing. This is the concept. So in the highest level, we change this one to March, was in March, where they recorded 1,260 units, and this one is to January. So highest level activity in March, 12,000, and the cost is 18,650. This is the highest. This is also the highest cost incurred. The lowest activity level, is in January, 650 health checks, and its cost will be 17,000, and actually it's the lowest, 17,125. So because we had already have the formula, this has been calculated. So you find that the difference between the highest and the lowest is 650, 610 health checks, these units of the difference. Then also the difference between the highest cost and the lowest cost is 1,525. So from there, we go to the question itself: determine variable cost per unit. The variable cost per unit, we know, is the rate of change in cost per unit, or cost per unit transferred, whereby variable cost is equals change in costs over change in activity. Here, because we have the formula in hand, we divided 610 divided by 1,525 dollars. So from there, we are getting the variable cost per unit is 2.5 dollars. So total variable cost here, it will change. It will change total variable cost per unit. You'll find that they transferred 1260, take 1260, 1260, 1260 units, and then you multiply by variable cost per unit, you'll get $2.5. So this one should be the highest. You can take the highest here, 1260, and then it will give you, because we have already formulated it. So this is the variable cost per unit, total variable cost transferred. Number of units transferred times cost. So this variable cost. This will be your variable cost per each activity. So fixed cost is equals, from this point, we know that the total cost is the sum of variable cost and fixed cost. So fixed total cost is equals fixed cost plus variable cost. Therefore, fixed cost is equals total cost minus fixed variable cost. Variable, let me show this one. So in this case, you will get the same value, which is 18,650 US dollars. You will less the variable cost, which is 3,150 US dollars. 3,150 US dollars. This is what you are going to less. All right. Then from there, you'll get the fixed cost. Fixed cost will be 15,550. 15,550, 15,500 US dollars. Then formulate the cost formula for the transfer. So a cost function will take a form of linear equation, y is equals mx plus c, or y is equals total cost plus variable costs, whereby y is the total cost, m is variable cost per unit, x is the units, and c is the fixed costs. So from there, your equation will be as this, because we have already formulated the formula. So that's why it's coming direct like this. All right. So from here, let's add one question here. From this point, we are going to add one question here and say, using the ILO method, using the ILO method of cost estimation and ignoring inflation, determine the estimated costs, total cost for carrying out health checks on 850 patients in period 6. So let's say now we have here period 6, and we are told that the number of patients is 850. Patients were to be checked. All right. So we already have the cost function. It's very simple. We have using the obtain cost function y is equals 2.5 x plus $15,500. We will obtain the total estimated costs as follows. substitute the value of substitute x in the equation, x in the above equation, with 850 patients. So is equals this, right? Using, so number of patients is 850 as variable units. So is equals, so total costs brackets y carrying nodes else checks is cost $2.5 multiplied by, or you start this way in brackets, equals in brackets, $2.5 multiplied by 850 close brackets plus 15 fixed costs. Okay, 15,500. Enter. So this is the answer now. If you doubt, just add 15,000, 15,500, 15,500, and then you take 2.5 times 850, 850, then plus this, plus this. That is the answer. So this is the total fixed costs. Just like that, you've known the concepts of ILO method, and now we will, in the next topic, we'll include some adjustments, if there was inflation. Where does inflation affect, and what to do when you find there is inflation in the question, and you're given the question. And did you know that Education Chair's website is open for all students to post questions for free and share to the world? Now we are bringing you a platform where you will be able to exchange questions and get answers from your fellow peers, meet new peers around the world, and this is for you as a student. And when you open the account, you go to www.educationchess.com, where you find the students' academic forum and academic community. You can share for free your assignments, your questions with answers, and also make a living from there, and also make sure you met new peers from there all over the world. There's also cheerful lecturers there, teachers with a lot of knowledge. Yeah, join today by creating the account. please don't fail to subscribe to our channel and be blessed. Click the thumbs up